Steelers Nation, welcome back. This season has been a roller coaster, hasn't it? But one thing is clear. Our team is constantly striving to improve, to get better, and to bring those results we all live for. Today, we're diving deep into Week 17's fallout and a comparison that has fans buzzing. Did Buccaneers coach Todd Bowles expose a weakness in Mike Tomlin's approach? Let's break it down. Before we jump into this hot topic, you know the drill. Smash that like button to show your Steelers pride, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more updates, insights, and conversations about our beloved black and gold. Now let's get into it. Let's start with one of the bright spots on this year's roster, Jaylen Warren. The undrafted gem has been electrifying in 2024, proving time and again that he's the most consistent and explosive running back we have. Meanwhile, Najee Harris, the former first-round pick, has struggled to find his rhythm. And here's the kicker. Despite Warren's clear impact, Mike Tomlin continues to split carries between the two. Contrast that with what happened down in Tampa Bay last week. Buccaneers coach Todd Bowles made a bold call, benching Rachaad White in favor of rookie Bucky Irving. The result? Irving dominated the game with over 190 all-purpose yards, leading the Bucs to a 48-14 blowout win. That decisiveness, going with the hot hand, is exactly what the Steelers need right now. So why hasn't Tomlin made the call to fully lean on Warren? It's not that Najee Harris hasn't contributed, he has. But let's be honest. His production often comes in garbage time when the game is already out of reach. Meanwhile, Warren consistently delivers, moving the chains and sparking the offense when it matters most. Last week against the Chiefs, Warren had fewer carries than Harris despite playing more snaps. It's a head-scratcher, right? Down in Tampa Bay, Todd Bowles isn't overthinking it. After a costly fumble by White in Week 16, Bowles handed the reins to Irving, and the rookie delivered in spectacular fashion. It's a level of decisiveness that, frankly, makes Tomlin's approach look timid. And let's not forget, Tomlin himself has said that assistants make suggestions, but the final decisions are his. So, Coach, what are we waiting for? Steelers fans, we've seen this story before. When a talented player isn't given the full opportunity to shine, the whole team suffers. It's time to let Warren carry the load. But the running back situation isn't the only issue. Let's talk about the defense. Over the last 3 games, this unit, one of the highest paid in the league, has given up double-digit losses, plagued by miscommunication and blown coverages. Patrick Queen, brought in with high expectations, wears the green dot as the defensive signal caller, but things just aren't clicking. Insider Ray Fittipaldo pointed out a glaring issue. The Steelers are still scrambling to line up properly as the ball is being snapped. That's no way to play defense, especially not in Pittsburgh, where defense is supposed to be our identity. Here's a thought. Should Minkah Fitzpatrick take over as the defensive play caller? We've seen him wear the green dot before when injuries decimated the linebacker core. With the defense clearly out of sync, maybe it's time for another shakeup. What do you think, Steelers Nation? Would putting the ball, figuratively, in Minkah's hands bring the unit back to form? Patrick Queen's signing was one of the most exciting moves of the offseason. After an all-pro season with Baltimore, expectations were sky-high. But so far, he's been solid, not spectacular. Yes, he's had some good games, but splash plays have been few and far between. And with the communication issues piling up, his $41 million contract is starting to look a little steep. Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. Is Queen living up to your expectations? Or do you think it's time for the coaching staff to rethink his role on this defense? Here's the deal. Terry Bradshaw, a Hall of Fame legend and one of the greatest to ever wear the black and gold, thinks the Steelers made a massive mistake by trading Kenny Pickett to the Philadelphia Eagles this offseason. Bradshaw didn't mince words on the Fox pregame show, saying they should have never gotten rid of Kenny Pickett. Now let's unpack that. For those who might have missed it, Pickett was traded to the Eagles in March in exchange for a slightly higher draft pick and some future late-round picks. At the time, the move didn't sit well with everyone, but it became even more controversial after the Eagles game against the Dallas Cowboys. Why? Because Pickett finally got his chance to start, and he delivered. Pickett came out strong in his first start for Philadelphia, completing 9 of 14 passes for 133 yards and a touchdown. He even rushed for a touchdown. His passer rating? A cool 119.6. And let's not forget, this was against the Cowboys, a team that's no pushover. It's no wonder Bradshaw was frustrated. He's been a big believer in Pickett from day one. Earlier this year, he went on the Rich Eisen show and talked about how much he admires Pickett's competitiveness, poise, and ability to stay cool under pressure. Bradshaw even said that Pickett's mental toughness and quick decision-making were exactly what the Steelers needed to build around. But here's where things get tricky. After trading Pickett, the Steelers went out and brought in Justin Fields from the Chicago Bears. Now, Fields has had moments of brilliance, but he's also been inconsistent. And let's be honest, inconsistency at the quarterback position can derail an entire season. Meanwhile, Pickett is showing flashes of the kind of quarterback he could become if given the right support. Here's the question, Steelers Nation. Did we give up on Kenny Pickett too soon? Bradshaw sure thinks so. He argued that instead of trading Pickett, the team should have invested in building around him, adding weapons on offense, shoring up the offensive line, and giving him a real shot to succeed in Pittsburgh. And honestly, isn't that what the Steelers are known for? Developing their own talent rather than constantly looking for quick fixes? Let's face it, this season, the offense has struggled to find its identity. Fields has had his moments, but the chemistry isn't quite there yet. Imagine what could have been if the Steelers had stayed the course with Pickett, giving him time to grow into the franchise quarterback we all hoped he'd be when he was drafted. Instead, we're watching him thrive in Philadelphia while we're left wondering what might have been. Bradshaw didn't just criticize the trade. He offered a blueprint for what the Steelers should have done. He talked about adding more playmakers, improving protection, and giving Pickett the tools to succeed in a league that's more pass-heavy than ever. And you know what? He's got a point. The Eagles clearly see something in Pickett, and they're giving him a chance to shine. Now, I know some of you are thinking, what's done is done. We've got to focus on the future. And you're not wrong. But this isn't just about one trade or one player. It's about the philosophy of this team. Are we still the organization that builds from within, that trusts our process and develops our players? Or are we starting to lose sight of what made the Steelers great in the first place? Steelers Nation, we've covered a lot today. From Jaylen Warren's rise and Najee Harris's struggles to Todd Bowles showing up Mike Tomlin and the defensive lapses plaguing our team, there's no shortage of drama in the Steel City. But now it's your turn. What do you think? Should Mike Tomlin fully commit to Jaylen Warren as the lead back? Is Patrick Queen the right guy to lead this defense, or should Minkah Fitzpatrick take over play-calling duties? And how do you feel about the comparison to Todd Bowles' bold moves in Tampa Bay? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get this conversation going because Steelers Nation isn't just a fan base, it's a family. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your fellow Steelers fans. Together we'll ride the highs and weather the lows of this incredible team. As always, go Steelers!